What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. There's a new song by Five Finger Death Punch. Well, it's actually not a new song, a new video by Five Finger Death Punch called The Tragic Truth. This song is old. I think this song is like a B-side from 2011 or something like that. But this video is new. The song is about Ivan, the singer, who has now been sober for a while now. Ivan has done and said a lot of dumb shit, right? I think everyone would agree with that, probably including him. But I think it's cool they did this. So let's give this a watch and see what we think. You know, this is a good scene. This is reality for a lot of people who are successful entertainers. It's a tough life. You know, it's not a fun or easy or healthy life. You know, living in a bus or a van and just seeing the backstage of these venues that basically looks, you know, the backstage of these venues looks like a fucking gym locker room most of the time, like cheap cinder block type stuff. It's dark. It's not a great existence. I can understand why a lot of people drink in that situation. It's isolating, you know, you don't see your friends and family. You're basically living at night all the time. It's not healthy. Hanging out with thoughts, also not healthy.
Running from a man I swore I'd never be.
Running from a man I swore I'd never be. Man, I had that same moment, you know, when I was 31 or something like that. My mom was a alcoholic, and my, you know, dad and pretty much everyone else in my family was like a drug addict or an alcoholic or whatever. You know, when I was a kid, I swore I was never going to be like them, and I was so sure that that would never happen. And then I was like 31 or 32, and I remember once being like, oh shit, I'm doing exactly the same stuff as my mom did when she was my age. Like, this is not good. I slowly but surely started drinking a ton, and hanging out with all kinds of the wrong people and like failed relationships and stuff. And it's easy to kind of become the person that you never thought you would be and never wanted to be. It's easy to sort of just end up there. And it's scary when you do. When you look in the mirror and you're like, fuck this. You know, the natural response for a lot of people is to do more drugs or drink more.
No one ever has to face tomorrow, but I'm the one that has to face me.
How did I get away from it? I didn't have a drug or alcohol problem. I had a life problem. I was in like a really unhealthy relationship, and I hated my job, and I was living in Ohio, which I also hated. I was doing drugs and drinking to get away from that, to just sort of distract myself from how unhappy I was with my life. And so in 2013, I left Ohio and I moved here back to Seattle, where I'm from. And literally the day I left Ohio was like the last time. I mean, I had a couple drinks after that, but like that was like the last time I really partied at all. Like, as soon as I got here, as soon as I got away from that relationship and away from Ohio and that life, I just instantly no longer wanted to drink or whatever anymore. So, and I think that's the case for a lot of people. A lot of the time people have a life problem as much as they have a substance problem, if that makes sense.
It's hard for me to understand myself.
It's hard enough for me to understand myself, so it has to be hard as hell for you. That's a good line. I think it's cool that Ivan is willing to change like this, because a lot of people follow him for who he was for the past 15 years, right? They follow him for being crazy, drunk, big mouth Ivan.
Did you hear the one about me being a punk? Did you hear the one about me being a drunk?
So to change, even though it's a healthy change, is scary, because you wonder, what if I lose the fire? You know, I mean, how many musicians put out a sober album that sucks? And it's like, oh, well, now that I'm happy, my music's not going to be good anymore. A lot of people have that fear. The Midwest can make anyone depressed. That is true. Yeah, I agree with this. When people say, I need insert substance to sleep, no, you need a better lifestyle, then you'll sleep fine. Barring some actual physiological problems like adrenal gland issues and stuff, that's true. I don't know if this is his intent with that line, but he said, in the end, I made the choice. And, you know, that's what you have to admit, first and foremost, is that it is a choice. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and making you do any of this stuff. You always have the choice to stop. It might not be easy, but you always have the choice to stop.
Fuck.
Did he OD or something like this? I don't know a ton about details of what he's been through and stuff, but here they're giving him CPR backstage. I don't know if that happened to him or not, but it happens to a lot of people.
EMTs, come. EMTs.
Back up, sir. Here we go.
You do this shit long enough and it is going to catch up with you. You know, you play with fire long enough and you will get burned, period. So, you know, if you are watching this and thinking to yourself, you know what, maybe I need to cut back, the answer is yes, you need to cut back. It is only a matter of time before it catches up with you. I promise. Whether that's driving drunk and you hit someone and, you know, now you have a DUI, or worse, you killed somebody, or, you know, street drugs now, man. If you're doing street drugs in 2022, you're nuts, because there's fucking fentanyl in everything and that shit can kill you so easily. You play with fire long enough and you will get burned. I promise you.
You hear me? Sir. Here we go. Here we go.
This is true. When I quit drinking, I noticed how everyone in the world immediately started making excuses about why they drink, etc. And that's no judgment. Like I said, I've been there. I get it. It's rationalization. It's denial. You know, I used to say the same stuff. Step one is being honest with yourself. I'm just so thankful that I never had a moment where I woke up in an ambulance or in jail or something like that. Just thank fucking God. There are certainly many times where I could have ended up in one of those situations if things went differently. Like I remember once I was driving around with fucking like a couple ounces of coke in my pocket, just driving around in the middle of the day. And like, what if I blew a stop sign and the cop wanted to search my car? And like, I would have fucking, you know, potentially been a felon for that. The thing I'm most ashamed about is I did drive drunk many times, which when I was a kid, I thought I would never, ever, ever, ever do that. Ever. But I did it, you know, and thank fucking God that I got away without suffering any permanent consequences. But man, just, you're rolling the dice every time you do this shit. You're rolling the dice. God. This is dark. From the chat here, I took a big step back when the liquor store guy said, "See you tomorrow." Last time I tried a painkiller I thought would be safe because I thought it was safe. It almost killed me, and I was really lucky I woke up and I had a friend who knew what to do. Yeah, man, it's real. So many fucking fake pills now, and you do not know what you're buying or selling or ingesting with pills now. It's scary. Even stuff that you think is pharma, you don't fucking know. I've driven with an open wine bottle in my car and I never want to do that again. Yeah, fuck. I'm glad it didn't end badly for you, but don't do that again. I was a hardcore stoner up until a few months ago. Now I look back and why did I waste so much of my time? No shade on anyone who smokes. I just got sick of it and I've become much more productive. Glad to hear it. Haven't smoked weed or done pills in 14 years. Now I have 2 kids working at number 3, so I have to keep it straight. Good for you. My mom was doing all that shit after she had me, and it fucked me up, man. Like, when your parents are doing drugs when you're a little kid, that's gonna leave a mark on your children. This is very true. Don't do it. It sucks, and nobody winds up better off for having done coke. I agree with that. Just don't do it. I mean, it's fun. I won't lie. Cocaine is fun, but it's bad news, especially now that fentanyl exists and could kill you.
Can you tell me what you took?
Lay down.
Welcome back. All right.
Don't tell them.
Imagine being his age and getting woken up by paramedics, you know, revived by paramedics after ODing like that. Like, fuck, man. Imagine having that moment. Imagine how fucking humiliating that must be, and just how disappointed you must be in yourself.
I'm ready to escape. Take it all, tear it up.
6 years clean off IV heroin, and so glad I got out of life before fentanyl hit the scene. I probably wouldn't be here now. That is lucky, because from what I understand, all heroin now has fentanyl in it, and that shit can kill you so easily.
I celebrated 42 months of sobriety.
42 months of sobriety, so he's 4 years sober now. Good for him.
I can honestly say, I will never let the darkness settle in ever again.
So then they close with that. To those of you battling with addiction right now, you are more than your addiction and you are never alone. Seek help, fight back. It's never too late. Great message. So hats off to them. Whether you like Five Finger Death Punch or not, whether you like their music or not, whether you like Ivan or not, I think we can all agree that it is cool that they did this. It's an awesome message. This will help people. Somebody is going to see this video. Someone's going to hear this song and they're going to say, you know what? Today is the day that I'm going to stop. Today is the day that I am going to get this shit under control. I think it's awesome that they did this. Again, whether you like the band or not, I say hats off to them for doing this, and I'm happy for everyone who is helped by this song.